Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to P. Dewey News. Man, listen, all right. So I've been seeing a lot of things about the housing market and the housing crisis in America as a whole, right? And I wanted to kind of explain the garbage incentive structure that has created the problem that we have today. Now, one of the largest problems in all of the housing market is the incentive structure for local municipalities and counties in the collection of property taxes. Now, what they do is they stand here and they go, well, we want people's houses to be as nice as possible so that we can collect the most amount of tax possible, right? So, like, I'll sit here and I'll give you a basic, overview of how things work, right? Really simply put, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to pay a percentage of what your house is worth every year in property tax to your local municipality, whatever it be, county, local, state, whatever, right? And so therefore, the local municipality and county and state have how do I put this? They have a perverse incentive to stand here and force you to have as large as a home as possible, square footage requirements, things of this nature, which basically ends up locking out individuals who want to stand here and be able to have, like an affordable house. Like, say, like, you want to put like a mobile home on your lot or whatever it is, right? Well, if you have like a $45,000 mobile home, they're only going to collect $4,000 or $477 annually, right? As compared to if they stand here and, you have a $365,000 house, they're going to collect $477 monthly from you, right? You get what I'm saying? So this is one of the large problems. So when you go and start looking at land, right? Like, say, like, you have a piece of land that's up for sale somewhere, right? This is in Albrightsville, PA. I just went on Land Watch and, was looking around for properties and shit, right, to make this video. They will stand here and have zoning laws that make sure that, it's zoned for residential purposes, single family dwelling. Mobile homes are prohibited. Why? Because of the fact that you have this perverse incentive structure that makes them want you to make sure that you have as high of a value of a house as you possibly can, right? They want to make sure that, you stand here and you have, a nice big fucking home put on this lot, because they don't want you to drag down their fucking property values. Why? Because of the fact that, property taxes. And this is a bit of an issue. And this is actually one of the largest issues that we have as a whole, is the way that we actually fund our local and, state governments. We sit here and we fund these things through taxes on things that you already bought. Now, I'll be honest with you. I can't think of anything else in the American economy that you buy and then you have to pay tax on every fucking year. Legit. There is nothing else. When you buy a car, you pay tax on it when, you buy it. Now, granted, you might have to pay for registration or whatever the case is, or an inspection, right? The inspection is to make sure it's safe on the road. The registration is like, like, fucking, you're going to pay $30 a year, but it's not based on the value of your car. It's a set rate for everybody, depending on the weight and the axles. Larger trucks used for commercial, purposes, whether it be a large pickup truck or a large, semi truck, they're going to be higher because they're going to use the road more. They're going to have heavier loads on the road, which ends up causing more wear and tear. Completely fair, right? And even then, it's only like $100 a year for most of this stuff, right? At the end of the day. So property taxes are literally rent that you're paying forever, and it never goes away. And these structures are literally what's holding up the entirety of the housing market from being able to be affordable for everybody, because there's no structure that, goes, hey, look, we should probably build more affordable homes, right? There's nobody who actually wants to do this on a local level. There's nobody who wants to do this on a county level. There's no home builder that wants to build, a cheap house, right? Because like everybody makes money based on, like how much that thing is worth, right? And when you have these type of incentive structures put in place, the whole thing ends up being a giant diabolical nightmare in the end of the day. So if we want to solve the housing crisis in America, the housing problems that we're facing, you have to get rid of property taxes at the very start, because not only will it stand here and actually like allow individuals to build whatever the hell it is they want, because like the local municipalities, if you're not collecting any cash off of how much somebody's home's worth, you're not going to stand here and worry about what type of homes that they're building and what the value of them are, right? Also, it'll keep your local municipalities out of your hair so that they're not worried about, like what you're doing with your land. They're not worried about whether or not you cut your grass or whether you're, have crabgrass or whatever the case is. So with that being said, excuse me, sorry, I just sneezed. Right. With that being said, the basic premise of this is all of this is caused by a terrible incentive structure that was set up to fund municipalities in a lot of places where, and this is what's the problem in places like Detroit and Chicago and all these other places, they were set up during a large industrial period where everybody had tons of cash. You had no problem paying for all these type of things. And the value of your house was much, much closer, much more tied to how much you made a year, right? And ended up not being a massive burden on you and your family as a whole, right? But today, these things no longer need to exist due to the fact that most of us are not, making the type of money we used to make. Important premises to understand. I just wanted to put this out here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'll holla at y'all. Peace be like one. I'm out.